Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Grateful Gratitude. We've got your usual cast here, the new usual cast, which I'm very happy and very excited about. And I'm Chris Gross. Sitting next to me, Mark Friedman, and we have LoLo Roberts as well. And LoLo, we're talking about angels today, aren't we?
Yeah, I love the subject of angels. And I read a really great book by Jack Graham, that's about angels. And it put so much insight into what I now believe about angels. It was an amazing book. And I actually ended up teaching a class on it and got to hear other people's perspective on angels. But his is pretty close to what I believe. And I know that I feel like all of us in the room, or the two rooms, believe in angels.
Thank you, COVID.
I don't think any of us don't believe in them. I think we probably have all been touched somehow that we think was an angel. So I guess the first thing that I really learned was how large a group of angels there are, that they're just so innumerable. And there's so many different places in the Bible that talks about, I think they say that the tens of thousands, or they have some kind of wording, because back then they didn't have the number system like we did so high. And I just know in Revelation 5:11, and of course I will throw in that 11 for you, it says, "Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels, numbering thousands upon thousands and 10,000 times 10,000. They encircled the throne and the living creatures and the elders." And why this is so profound to me is, I had always been told that when you're born, you're given two angels. One's for consoling and comforting, and the other one's for guidance. And that's what I always thought. But I don't feel like that's true. I just feel like there's so many angels everywhere that I don't want to say they intercede, like God sends them to intercede, but I think God sends them to help us through things. And I personally had a tough story to tell, but I'm going to tell it. Right after I got divorced, I worked in a veterinary hospital. And I drove to the veterinary hospital that day with Lexi, and she was probably 6 or 7, very young. I had gotten her a puppy that we just decided was not going to work out. So instead of keeping it at our house for the weekend, I took it to the veterinary clinic and was going to just house it there over the weekend until I could get it back to the person who offered the puppy to us. And I had never, ever, ever, ever left Lexi in the car alone. And she said, "Mommy, I'm so tired. Can I stay in the back seat and just lay here while you take the dog in?" I don't know why, but I said, okay. Well, as I'm inside the building, the brakes fail on my car. And Lexi is in the backseat of the car laying down, and the car starts moving. And she sits up thinking I'm in the car driving, and she realizes there's no one in the car but her. And she goes through the back parking lot and over a ravine. It just drops straight down. And one of my employees came in and said, "What's wrong with your car?" And I said, "Nothing. Why?" And she goes, "Yeah, there's something wrong." And so I went out and I saw my car over the ravine, knowing that Lexi was in that car. And the next thing, I yelled Lexi, and I went running. And the next thing I saw was a lady bringing her to me, carrying her. And Lexi was crying, I was crying, but she was okay. And I searched high and low for that lady, because once she handed me Lexi, I couldn't find her. And to me, it was just God sent an angel to protect my daughter and to make me more aware that that wasn't a good thing to do, even though I never done it before. But he placed somebody there that we needed at that time. And I'm sure Frida and Chris, I'm sure you guys have similar stories of angels.
Lolo, I could go on and on about this. I'll try not to derail the flow of the podcast.
Okay.
But last year, one of the real good things that happened to me in 2020 is I actually won an award through the Special Olympics. And it was, I was named the Special Olympics Angels Among Us Citizen of the Year.
Wow.
And I got to tell you that just the title of that award meant so much to me, Angels Among Us. But then the other thing, let's see if I can get through this, that happened to me. For those who don't know, I spent 4 months basically in the hospital. And I truly believe that I was sent an angel here on earth. I don't want to add her too much because she did a whole lot that was above and beyond. She was my speech therapist, and she went above and beyond with me. And we talked, had deep conversations. I was in a drug-induced coma for, I still don't even know, 6 to 8 weeks. And she was the first person that I developed a relationship with after coming out of it. And once again, I don't want to get her in trouble, but she kept me on her role as one of her patients well beyond how long I really needed her, because we developed such a good bond and good relationship. She would come in on her days off and visit me. There hasn't been a single day, including Christmas and New Year's, that we haven't communicated since I woke up from that drug-induced coma. She gave me something to look forward to every single day when I was in that hospital bed. And I've told her, look, I'm not flirting with you. You're a true angel. You're a true angel. And I think that to me, is the biggest compliment you can give someone. And one of the best compliments that you can get is for someone to look at you and appreciate you as an angel. And I'm going to need to check with Alicia before you post this to make sure it's okay to post that she came in on her days off. But it's the first time. I mean, Lolo, you know this, and you mentioned Jack Graham. I've been very fortunate. Pastor Jack Graham at Prestonwood is one of my best friends. And I've been very fortunate, especially later on in life, to surround myself with real good people like you and Chris. And I've got great people around me. I think that's very important. But Alicia is the closest to an angel that I can come up with. And that says a lot with the people I hang out with. That she was amazing to me. And I just hope and pray that I can have that kind of influence on at least one other person.
And I think that's one thing we can say about angels, right? I'm just amazed by both of your stories, like literally jaw on the floor by your stories. And I can't say I've had something similar, but from what I can tell from both of you guys, it's almost like somebody coming from out of nowhere, right? They come in, it's not somebody you're expecting that can help you. And I think you're right, Frito. It's important to surround yourself with really good people and people that can lift you up. But I think we can tell that it's an angel when it's somebody who seems like they've come out of nowhere, or someone who seems to just be there and they're there to take care of you.
That's such a great point. Let me tell you something. Alicia's told me when she first met me, she hated me. she and people don't really hate me, Lolo, but yeah, she said because it was her job to tell me what I couldn't do. And when I woke up, I was dehydrated. I was thirsty. And even though she's a speech therapist, her job was literally to teach me how to swallow things again. And so she had to tell me I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't even have like ice chips. And I was a jerk. I mean, I was a complete jerk to her, but she gave me a chance.
I remember following that on Facebook when Joel would post, how thirsty you were and how she'd say, no, you can't have it and stuff. And he made some comments that you were maybe not your normal self at that time.
Oh, let me
But
tell you what.
I do remember, the world knows because it's on Facebook. So, but you know, I said from the very beginning of this, Mark, and um, not directed towards Alicia anyway, because I don't know her, and we may not be able to air this if she doesn't want it out. But I told people that you would come out of the hospital with someone very special in your life. I said that repeatedly. And I said, because it's going to be somebody who has seen Mark at his very worst and still cares. And so I just felt like this whole thing that God kind of halted you and said, I'm gonna change your life in such a beautiful way. And you know, even if that's blessing you with an angel, a new friend or somebody, I always felt that there was going to be something life changing for you in there with a woman. And I don't mean to sound sexist or anything.
Well, wait, slow down. Alicia is very, very, very happily married.
I
Has
know
a
that.
great family. And you know, her daughter actually drew me a couple pictures. She's just a great person.
Well, I'm not saying that that's Alicia. I'm not saying
Okay.
it could have been somebody else. But you know, when
Well, I'm still open to finding that one.
yeah, you will. But I mean, I just, even in the context of what I'm saying, not in marriage or anything, but somebody that would change your life and change your attitude about how people do care. And anybody that's in the medical profession, I mean, you can't do it for money, especially with COVID right now. I mean, you do it because of your heart. And when you see that in another person, it causes you to touch another person's heart. So she's an angel.
Yep.
All right, good topic, guys. Boy, I tell you, we've been all over the place today, but I look forward to talking to you guys again real soon.
Absolutely.